Prime time.
To this day.
How you doing, champ?
Nights like this, I wish.
The millions watching around the world.
Prime time.
Nobody, every time I call something in question, I'm
That's
telling.
why it's very important.
Raise up, gonna be trouble.
Might have to drop. Might have to drop a dime on it.
Get his fight.
He has all the attributes to fit.
You ready for the next one?
Most definitely, that's the fight that we want next. Ready?
He's definitely ready.
I'm ready.
Come on, baby, get it together.
You guys gotta give me a better dance partner.
Now nothing mean don't get a now nothing. Now nothing. A now nothing out of there.
Hey, welcome back to the channel. It's your man Prime Time, and you already know you on Prime Time Talk TV. And yeah, I'm back at you with another good video, and you already know the routine. Once you enter my house, wipe your feet off, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and smash the bell icon so you can be notified the next time I drop these next latest and greatest videos like these.
Prime time.
To this day.
Oh man, let's go ahead and jump on into this video, shall we? How about your boy Eddie Hearn going back and forth with Gervonta Tank Davis? Yeah, you know, I done talked about that and everything, so you know, it ain't too much to elaborate on, but is this what you call clout chasing? Is Eddie Hearn dropping the hottest name in boxing? Is that clout chasing, or is it just hating? Because he didn't congratulate him on a good fight or a good win or anything like that. He went right into dissecting his speech and articulate and things of that nature. Why? Yeah, make you wonder, huh? Is it because he lost $6 billion that was given to him to basically take over boxing since 2016? Not only losing $2 billion just in 2021. So, you know, Gervonta Tank Davis basically said, you know, you the one to judge, huh? Like you ain't got no flaws. Yeah, exactly. Eddie Hearn, you got more flaws than us all, man, I'm pretty sure. So, you know, the next time you want to critique somebody, how about critique yourself? You know, because I'm pretty sure it's somebody else critiquing you that done gave you all that money. For real. Gave me $6 billion, see if I hadn't taken over boxing. But see, the thing of it was, Eddie Hearn came at it so cocky and talking about he gonna take over boxing, like boxing ain't, you know, already been going on in the USA. This is the mecca of boxing in the USA. So it was a straight direct insult. So you know what happened? He got isolated. He got ostracized. He got kicked out of the crew that he won't even in, that he was trying to get in, but he didn't even know about that existed. Because in his mind, he thought he had enough money to buy everything, buy anybody. But you can't buy respect, Eddie. Can't do that, man. Respect is always earned. So, you know, moving right along, I ain't even gonna, you know, dredge too much into that. But some new updated news about the fight with Devin Haney versus Vasily Lomachenko. Oh, man. You know, it was reported by Michael Benson and Michael Coppinger and all the Michaels that, you know, the fight was going to be at MSG, Madison Square Garden in New York. Had people hyped, had people ready to go buy rooms and reserve hotel rooms and rent cars and everything. May 20th, they said. And then boom, it's snatched out because you know what? Vasily Lomachenko must not be comfortable with that. You know, seeing some kind of hole in that just won't please him. So the talk that Bob Arum has came out and said that the fight is now being negotiated between Madison Square Garden and in Saudi Arabia. Ain't that something? But you know what? Bill Haney, he already came out and said it don't matter. He said himself that it was talks of Saudi Arabia, it was talks of Madison Square Garden. He said it don't matter where they're willing to go. You know, of course, they would like it in their hometown, Las Vegas, that they newly adopted. The undisputed champion and his father, Bill Haney. But so be it. Bill Haney said it don't matter. We'll go wherever. And you already seen that. Devin Haney was willing to go all the way to Australia, not once, but twice. Took the belts, then went back and defended the belts. And you talking about hostile area. You talking about a place that wouldn't even let his own father in the first fight. You know? So come on, don't sit here and try and judge him and say, oh, you know, Devin Haney ain't willing to. He been doing that. He been bending over backwards for you guys. You know? For the haters, for the oppositions. He been bending over backwards. He been doing it. He been taking fights and taking paydays that wasn't even right for a champion. Had the WBC belt and was still made to take the lesser money, not once, but twice against Kambosos. Somebody that was outmatched and outgunned and they knew it, but they still gave that guy, what, 10 million once? No, not just once, twice. Devin Haney got what? $2 million per fight probably. Ain't that something? But you know what? We used to it. And that's what Devin Haney has shown with class is that we know this. We used to it. But we gonna take these little crumbs you give us from these fights and we gonna make them into something bigger. And that's why I commend Devin Haney and his father for having a promotional company. Devin Haney is the youngest promotional company boxer, you know, in the world probably. In history probably. You know, he took pages out of Mayweather's book and he adapted them to his life. Not too many boxers can do that. Can't we agree on that? So, you know, I look for this Vasily Lomachenko and Devin Haney fight to be a mega fight. People are trying to downplay it and this, that, and the third. Look, Vasily Lomachenko knows his height. He knows what size he is. That was all mind games he was playing. You know, is he heavyweight? Nah, yeah, you know Devin Haney was big. That ain't your first time rubbing shoulders up against him, seeing him in a crowd or at a fight or at a WBC function or something. Come on now, don't play us. But see, that's strategy. He's setting y'all up so if he lose, then, oh, you know, he was a bigger fighter than me. You know, I was outmatched. Nah, take that L on the chin. You know? But honestly, I look for Vasily Lomachenko to come out in his best form, for real. Because, you know, fighters are funny like that, you know? It's like, it's hard to get them in the ring with certain fighters, but then when you get them in the ring, it's like they turn that switch on. And I'm going to tell you, it's going to be a back and forth chess match early on. It truly is. But until someone's cardio wither first, we won't know who's going to really win that match decisively. Now, I expect it to be the younger fighter, of course. But you can't discount the experience of an older fighter as well. That's why Vasily Lomachenko's footwork is probably much better than most fighters in that division. So you can't discount him, not one iota, for real. I'm not going to count him out because I'm going to tell you like this. You know, all it takes is one punch from any fighter. That goes for Devin Haney, that goes for Vasily Lomachenko to change the whole trajectory of that fight. So, you know, don't try and downplay any fighter because I'm not. You know, Vasily Lomachenko has always been the top of his game. He works with angles, he works with punches, and he has a crazy arsenal of punches. And that's one of the good things I love about him. I'm going to tell you, you know, after seeing the Ukrainian fighter Hearn go against Boots, oh my God. It just lets you know that the Ukrainian fighters have something different with their footwork, man, that is magical for real. It is beautiful. And to hear Stephen Fulton say, hey, man, you know, I seen some stuff from that fighter that I'm going to use. You know, that's the beauty of boxing right there. You know, every fighter comes with a different arsenal, and you have to see who's matched up against who better to win that fight. You know, it could be your fighter, and it could be my fighter, but it just depends on the styles of each fighter and how well they are executed and who hits first. That's really what it boils down to, is you gonna stand there and get hit, or you gonna do the hit. And if you allow a fighter to catch his rhythm, there's no way to break it. It's whoever catch who rhythm first. That's all it's about. You can argue till you turn blue, but it's truly all about who catches who rhythm first. Is Devin Haney going to catch his rhythm first? Is Vasily Lomachenko going to catch his rhythm first? It's all about balance. It's all about execution, and it's about the psyche, the mental psyche of that fighter, stepping into that fight. How bad do he want it? And I know Vasily Lomachenko sees this as an uphill battle, but I'm going to tell you like this. I do believe this much. He knows that if he executes the game plan to a T, he can win the fight. He can win the fight. You know, one good thing I will point out about Vasily Lomachenko is his cardio. You've never really seen him gassed out in a fight too often. His injury with Teofimo Lopez kind of made that fight a little one-sided to me. So, and then right after that, he did go to surgery, so you can't discount the shoulder surgery. You know, fighters go in with injuries all the time, so I've never been one to say, oh, was it real and we need to see the papers. There's so many other crazy quacks that be doing that mess. You know, oh, we need to see the documents. Man, get out of here, man. You don't want nobody asking to see your x-rays and your doctor bills and your doctor payments. Crazy, man. People crazy. But you know, I will say this. Since Vasily Lomachenko returned, he's fought twice, letting you know that he wants to be active, that he wants to get back to full form. Now, is it too early to be fighting Devin Haney? That's yet to be seen. You know, I've heard those comments as well. And what I'm doing is just kind of breaking down those negative narratives that people are out there putting out against this fight. This is a mega fight, period. You know, hands down, man down. Straight up. Like Devin Haney, the undisputed world champion. And then you have Vasily Lomachenko. He's coming back after surgery, after war, and then fighting twice, building up momentum to go after those belts. And it's a beautiful thing in boxing, if you ask me, right? It's a solid story. Now, will you say, you know, some people even put out this narrative. Oh, well, you know, Top Rank is consolidating. You know, that's one of the reason why they're throwing Vasily Lomachenko to the wolves and Devin Haney to the wolves, because, you know, they got Shakur Stevenson and they just trying to figure out which one they're going to stand behind. That's a good narrative, too. Yeah, could be, maybe. But you're not in that office to know. So how are you coming up with this narrative? And that's what I'm saying. People love these hypothetical things, man. They live and breathe off of trying to be hypothetical just so they can, you know, undercut something or downplay a fight or downplay a fighter. Because that's all it is. Instead of giving the fighter proper respect and saying, man, this dude 24 years old, he undisputed champion of the world, man. You know, he fought Kambosos twice, man. Kambosos had 2 times to get it right, man, and he couldn't do it, man. So, you know, he beat Teofimo Lopez, but this dude beat him twice. So what did that say about Teofimo Lopez? Huh? You know, and he, of course, Teo said, oh, you know, he had some kind of injury that night and he could have died. And, you know, I mean, and I don't know about all that. I know when the bell first rung, you got hit and knocked down. And that right there changed the whole momentum of everything that anybody can say, period. You know, for you to get knocked down that fast by him and then last all the other, you know, besides that cut you got over your eye, that gash that had you bleeding everywhere, you know, I mean, Kambosos just really exposed you, you know? And for you to be not fighting Devin Haney has called you out time and time again, went to your fights, went to where you bought tickets and been in the audience with you and talked to people face to face, and you said the same thing over and over again. Not the truth. You said, oh, I take the fight for this much. They gave you that much money, then you said you want $10 million. You know, it just... Every time they ask for something, you move the goalposts just to not make that fight. And I can't say that, hey, maybe they building this fight up and, you know, they trying to, but I'm going to tell you, you know, these fighters are talking about, oh, we're trying to build the fight up, or you hear promoters trying, oh, we rather fight build up. But what if that guy loses now? Then who are you going to build it up with? So it's almost like a type of thing like, man, ain't nothing promised tomorrow. Go ahead and get it today. Go ahead and get it today. Make these fights now. Keep putting them off, saying that, oh, you waiting for the perfect time and you're waiting for it to mature. That could be a case, but after 2, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years of a guy calling this guy out, and this guy is a champion calling this guy out, and y'all don't make the fight, something is wrong with that picture in my book. Because that fight been brewing long enough. It just sounds like somebody don't want that smoke. Somebody don't want that fight. And it ain't Devin Haney. Devin Haney has had the WBC belt for a very, very long time, and he has called out everyone under the sun in that division. For real, period. It's documentation. It's physical proof. It is video and physical printed, published literature. Right now, you can Google. All you gotta do is just Google Devin Haney calls out. That's it. And you'll see. Ryan Garcia, Teofimo Lopez, Jojo Diaz. He done called them all out. Vasily Lomachenko. He done called them all out. Gervonta Davis. He done called them all out. Name another fighter in the lightweight division that has called out more fighters than Devin Haney, and you can Google it and show me physical proof. Show me. Show me someone else in the lightweight division that has called out more fighters than Devin Haney. If you can do that, I will make you an honorary member on my staff. Show me some physical proof of Devin Haney, you know, having somebody else that has called out more fighters than him in the lightweight division. You can't. You can't. It's no other fighter in that lightweight division that has called out every top fighter in his division. And no, we're in the ring with mostly all of them. So I'm not even gonna, you know, keep digging into that wound, I will move right along onto this and go right on to the Ajaba FA versus Shaw. And a lot of people said it was a snooze fest, yada, yada, yada. But it was two big men basically playing chess with their power, because I guess each one of them felt their power. But Ajaba FA showed that he has worked on his technique a little bit more, and he fought to the best of his ability to get out his opponent out of the ring, but couldn't do so. He won by unanimous decision. So, hey, props and kudos to Ajaba for that. Now, a lot of people say, is Ajaba ready for Deontay Wilder? Of course not. Of course not. But I'm going to tell you who he is. And I will say who he is ready for now, so that we can actually see if this guy that I'm about to name is worthy of being in the same lane. And that is none other than the big baby Jared Anderson. Yeah. That'd be a good fight, right? Ajaba FA against Jared Big Baby Anderson. Good God, that'll be a monstrous fight. I guarantee you it will be a boxer's delight, especially for me. I mean, hey, I ain't a perfect matchmaker, nothing like that. Yes, I am, but I ain't gonna toot my horn on haters, because they gonna say something about it. But look, just put that across to the people if you're here, man, and just see what you think about that fight matchup there, because it's really yet that we have seen Jared Big Baby Anderson in a name with a brand name in the ring. So now we got the up and coming Ajaba FA, a knockout artist. A lot of people tried to rival him to Deontay Wilder's power, but hey, he's still learning and turning. And I think we need to turn up the heat on both of these fighters and pit them against themselves. How about that? Just indulge me, shall you? So, how about your boy Danawhite, man? Oh, man, it's been a rough little period for Danawhite, man. New Year's, you know about all that mess. Oh, some of y'all don't. Oh, the owner, the head dog, the CEO of UFC, Danawhite. Well, him and his wife were having a New Year's Eve joint. I don't know what was said or what, but the wife hauled off and slapped Danawhite. I mean, slapped the taste out of his mouth. And I guess he was concussed because he slapped her back. And then she hit him again. He slapped her again. So, and I think people broke it up from there. So, it's just an embarrassment is all. He said both of them had drinks and yada, yada, yada. I kind of wish maybe if he had him and his wife on TV, it would have looked better. But who knows? He's his own PR. So I guess he wanted to do all this himself. And, people ain't feeling so good with it on some points. People asking for his removal, asking for him to be reprimanded, and, should he be the CEO of the company and things of that nature. And he's made his own statements and said that he ain't removing himself. He ain't quitting. He said, because if he quit, the business will go. So anyway, I guess he may be right about part of that, because one of his biggest fighters just left, and that was Francis Ngannou. Oh, man. You talk about the heavyweight champion, Francis Ngannou. You talk about the guy with the fist the size of lunchbox, Francis Ngannou. Yeah, that one. The one that hits you with the power of what did they say? The science lab studied on him. A Ford Escort going at 45 miles per hour is the equivalent of his punch. Who comes up with that? Somebody actually laid down and took a shot from the car. But hey, what floats your boat? But anyway, Francis Ngannou didn't agree to his new contract that was offered by the UFC. And UFC has been notorious for underpaying a lot of the stars, and a lot of people are speculating and alluding that the contract for Francis Ngannou was laughable at best. And when the UFC went to up the pay, Francis Ngannou laughed at best. And so he turned down the deal and said, hey, release me. And you know what happened? Danawhite released him. He made the announcement that John Bone Jones will be fighting Circle Game for the heavyweight championship. Yeah, so, you know, that's set for March 4th. So, and look, the business goes on. But I guess, you know, Francis Ngannou said, look, man, he gonna go out here and test the waters. He talking about Jake Paul fights. He talking about Tyson Fury fight and all types of stuff. So crossing over into boxing, who knows, man? You know, he had a little video surfacing with Mike Tyson showing him a little pointers and stuff. So, hey, who knows? He might have learned some other tactics as well. How to get a better contract, my friend. But anyway, moving right along, I know that has to be at least, a $300 million hit to the purse of the UFC losing Francis Ngannou. Now, why couldn't they offer that guy enough money to make him stay? You know, but hey, it is what it is, you know. I guess the UFC said, hey, we can make and break fighters all the time, man. You know, you go do what you need to do, man, and we'll get along without you. So, of course, they moved right along. They probably gave John Jones the payday they should have gave Francis Ngannou to make him stay. But anyway, you know, it's all good and dandy with that. Now, one thing I will talk about also is the Errol Spence versus Keith Thurman debacle. A lot of people are arguing, saying that this fight isn't worthy. But hey, how are y'all discounting Keith one-time Thurman when he only lost one time against Manny Manuel Pacquiao? Huh? How are you going to discount this guy for that? He ain't lose to no straggler, no journeyman. He ain't lose to a has-been. He lost to a legend. He lost to a 8 different division champion? Come on now. So, you know, miss me with all that, oh, this fight ain't worth it, man. Ain't nobody trying. You ain't trying to see this fight. But it's probably thousands and millions around the world that do. You think about it, Keith Thurman has his own fan base as well. So you can't just keep discounting him. Because Keith Thurman packs a seat a lot of other fighters can't do. He can sell a fight a lot of other fighters can't do. He'll walk the walk and talk the talk a lot of other fighters can't do. So miss me with all that trying to diss and discredit Keith Thurman. Now, yeah, it's true that Keith Thurman didn't take the fight with Errol Spence when Errol Spence had one belt back in the day. He had the IBF, and, you know, Keith Thurman had the WBC, and he wanted to unify. Keith Thurman didn't want to. Keith Thurman said it ain't time. Well, before he even got there, he told him to get a belt. Then he got a belt, and he told him it ain't time. So, you know, that's why Keith Thurman is not liked by Errol Spence. That's why Errol Spence denied fighting him for a belt, because he didn't allow him to fight for a belt. So he said, it's not right. I give you a chance for a belt that you didn't give me. So I'll fight you at 154. And a lot of people don't get that part. So listen to me when I tell you this. The reason why Errol Spence is fighting Keith Thurman at 154 is because he's keeping his word. He said, you didn't fight me for a belt when I asked you for opportunity, so I'm not giving you an opportunity when I got the belts. I'm keeping my word, and that, my friend, makes him Errol the Truth Spence. For real. Spin it how you want to spin it. Make your own opinion how you want to make it. But the truth shall set you free, like Esther say on Fred Sanford. Sanford the Son. You remember the show? Well, if you don't, look it up. But hey, I'm not saying that, this is the mega fight to replace Crawford versus Errol Spence. No, I'm not. But what I am saying is that this is still a mega fight. Because honestly, to me, this is do or die for Keith Thurman. Like that group, do or die. Yeah, this is do or die for Keith Thurman. If he loses this fight to Errol Spence, good night. Not just to him in the ring, but I'm talking about in his boxing career. He gonna have to go to commentary after this. And I ain't say commissary. I ain't say go to prison. I said commentary. I mean going to the podium and talking on ESPN Sports. For y'all crazy ones, because I know some of y'all be looking for a brother to mess up. Hey, I trip up every now and then, because I don't write this stuff. I don't script my stuff. I don't use a teleprompter. Some people like all that stuff. I just like to keep it real. You know what I mean? And when you're keeping it real, you ain't gotta keep it concealed. You know what I mean? I can go live or I can go private. I can talk on the phone or I can talk on TV. Whatever you want to see, it's going to be here right on Primetime Talk TV, baby. So, yeah. But, look, Errol Spence, man, I get it. He was pushed into this fight because who else? Who else is going to really sell the numbers they need to sell if they put the money up for this fight? See, everybody's saying, oh, well, Errol Spence ought to fight Boots. He's closer to... He ain't ready. He ain't ready. He need a little bit more time to build. He need 1 or 2 more fights, y'all. Real talk. After seeing what just happened, that's the wrong exposure. Yeah, you can say, oh, that's when Errol want to pounce on when he show his weakness. Nah. Because you know what that shows? That it ain't going to sell that much. See, he needs to have a spectacular performance and outing. So when they match them two up, Errol Spence versus Jerron Boots Ennis, then it's a mega fight. And not just a big fight for Boots Ennis. It got to be a big fight for everybody all the way around. The promoters got to eat too. People got to get paid to produce this whole show. You feel me? So if he ain't selling out arenas yet, he ain't going to be able to do it. Now, on the other hand, Keith Thurman combined with that, they can do some pretty good numbers. And that, my friend, is most likely what the businessman is looking at on the other hand. Y'all looking at, oh, we want to see somebody get knocked out. We want to see the best fight the best. Yeah, for decades, that has always been a fan's want. Trust me. This ain't the first time in boxing we wanted fights that we couldn't get. A lot of people saying we might not get the Crawford or Errol Spence. We'll get it. We'll get it. Trust me. I'm going to tell you undoubtedly when we going to get it is when both fighters are to the age that they have expunged every other fighter and they know that that fight right there is the only fight that's going to give us a check. That's when that fighter happened. That's when Manny and Pacquiao, and Mayweather fight happened. You remember? It took 5 years for that fight to happen. And it finally did. But it was on their time, not ours. So, hey, it is what it is. I look for all the good fights. I want 2023 to be a packed fight schedule so that we all can have good fights. I want these fights to be in the U.S. though, so I can attend Mostly all of them. So anyway, but that's all I got for you in this video. You already know the routine when you leave my house. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, smash the bell icon so you can be notified the next time I drop these next latest and greatest videos here on Primetime Talk TV, and I'm on social media everywhere. Definitely go to the website PrimetimeTalkTV.com and cop you some merch. All right, y'all, peace, love. I'm out till next time.